Hi guys, Jason here, welcome to the AskGolfNut channel. So today we are looking at the long-awaited G425 replacement in the form of the G430. Now, Ping are singing quite a loud song when it comes to the G430. I've got a few bits and pieces I'm going to go through when it comes to the tech in this thing, because there are some changes, because it does look a little bit different to the old G425. It looks a lot different to the G425, and if you've seen the pictures of the woods when it comes to the G430, and they're all released on the same date for embargo, so I can put a picture up of the woods up on the old screen. The woods do look a little bit different, and there's no difference when it comes to the iron, although yellow and white haven't really made too much of an appearance on the new golf club. Only a little bit at the back where it says Perflex, Porflex, whatever it'll be. Some carbon ribs and all that lot will go into it. But effectively they're saying that this iron is 7 to 10 yards longer than the previous one. Now that's a big claim, because 7 to 10 yards is a lot. If you go by lofts alone, there is 1 degree or so difference between this and the previous one. So give or take 3-4 yards for me. Ish. You've got a thinner face, that's going to give you 2 mile an hour extra ball speed, they're saying. They've got custom engineered lofts for obviously trying to control distance, because if they're starting to move the lofts around a little bit, they've got to do for gapping. And they have moved their pitching wedge further forward, so there will be a requirement to add some more custom wedges, or yeah. You'll do that when you go get fit anyway, so it doesn't matter. You've got a multi-material badge. Now that's a carbon looked thing, and when I'm pressing it, I can't help but press it. It's giving. It's got a little bit of flex to it. Well, it's called Porflex, I guess, but yeah, it does. Yeah, squidgy a little bit. And you've got tungsten in the tip of the shaft and also in the toe to try and stretch out the MOI, resistance to twist, forgiveness, all that kind of idea. Let's get into hitting this iron. I've got FSX 2020 up at the moment. Let's go put it on a hole. Let's have a little bit of fun trying to hit a green, and let's go a bit crazy. Let's go stick it on something rather difficult for a little bit of, yeah, sadisticness. And yeah, let's go have a bit of fun with the old G430. Data set now changed. We are at Butterfield Blue Red. Hole 14, I have moved the tee to somewhere where I can actually hit a 7-iron G430 into it. So it's 175 yards, and I have picked the worst green I possibly can ever find. It is about that wide, and as it's that wide, don't expect me to hit the green, because I don't expect myself to hit the green when it's that small. But let's go give it a hit anyway, and I'm not looking forward to hitting them in the water, because either that or it's going to be sand or water. Down by the golf ball, you've got the classic white line-up line, which I know and love from Ping, and I have known and loved for Ping for quite some time. They continue to do it, and I really wish all manufacturers did the same, because it does line up. It just frames it lovely. And then also, actually, considering this is a G iron, this is not huge. It's got, I would say it's a relatively thick top line, but because it's curved, you can't really see it when you're addressed by the ball. The sole thickness is medium to thick, yes it is, but it's not massive by any stretch. And you know what? Blade lengths are, I would say, under control. They are not. I mean, Ping have made some big G's in the past, but this is by no means one of them. That's a miss. I didn't quite catch it. Out of the bottom, and it's carrying 180 yards from a miss. 127 ball, 126.6, 127 from that. That is a miss. Oh, you could get so addicted to trying actually hitting this hard, but no, this is not an idea of trying how hard you can hit it. But the noise was quite loud. I will say that one straight away. It is something that you can definitely tell you're hitting. That's a miss as well, not quite on it, but it's pretty good. Low out the face again, and it's going massive. Wowzers. 6-3 spin, I tell you what, it's spinning really well. Really well. Low on the face slightly, good delivery, low on the face. That's doing well. 128 ball, but it is loud. I'll say it again, it is loud. That's slightly toey. That'll be an interesting one, because that is slightly toey. And it's gone massive. Well, they do say this thing is forgiving, and that is 3 mil high, 10 mil toe, 13 mil off. And that's 185, 128 miles an hour ball speed. That is encouraging. So that is a miss. and I think that's the longest one yet. This Ping is an interesting golf club. It is not the nicest sounding, I will say, being honest. I prefer a much more muted golf club, but that is a preference. That's what I like. If you're someone who likes a louder sounding golf club, well, there you go. You got something that's going to be forgiving and tick the box for noise. There you go. Just thought I'd give it a bit of a hit. What's that when it comes to ball speed? 129, 128.9, 129 miles an hour, 184. That is, do you know what? That is doing really well though, because it's not just, is it, spinning really, but it's going 37 yards in the air, 49 degrees ascent angle at 184 yards. I mean, that is like my 5.5 iron, this thing is. But it's really good. It is very, very good, this golf club. Go on, let's give it a last one. Let's see if we can hit it as high as we can hit it for a bit of fun. That's leaking a touch, but I did hit it really ridiculous. Oh my word, it's massive. And it's high. Look at that. Didn't hit the middle, 0 mil low, 8 mil toe. Pretty good though. How high has that gone? 47 yards in the air and 53 degrees ascent angle. Wow. This golf club is a very, very impressive thing. It is addictive to hit because it is just 131 ball. I just caught that. Oh, this is fun to hit, this thing is. I'm going to go hit this a load of times now for forgiveness testing. So we've hit some shots today and you could already see what happens when you slightly miss the middle. But I'm going to be hitting this low, heel and toe to see what happens when you guys, if you're going to go buy this and you're going to want to test it, you're going to see how well this performs or not. Let's go give it a load of times, hit round the face and go see how well it really does. To the all-important forgiveness side of the video where I test out the G430 iron from toe, heel and low and all those shots that everyone does from time to time. Remember, this is a game improvement iron, so it's designed for distance and it's designed to be helpful when you don't quite hit the middle. And so I've done this also at 2 different speeds. Now I'll summarize this as best I can, because if not, obviously doing data sets for 2 different speeds could take forever. So I've done some mishits, we'll do them right at the end, and we'll just sort of see how the iron got on average when you include some mishits in there, some really good shots, etc. in a normal data set. So ball speed of 125.6, so again, this golf club is more than capable of 130 plus at certain speeds, which is, it's got one heck of a springy face. Launching at 18.9, spinning at 5.5, so that's a decent level of spin considering it's a 29 degree 7 iron. It's going up at 38 yards in the air and descending at 49 degrees, so that is stopping at on any green at 181 yards carry. This is a mighty impressive iron for carry distance, peak height and stopping power. Now 181 yards, that is getting, well, that's past my 6 iron, but I cannot get the peak height on my 6 iron that this gets with this 7 iron, and that's due to the lower, further back centre of gravity, springier face, etc. You can definitely see it's a game improvement iron with the height that it can create. If you look at the club head data for that, before we go into the slow side of things, the club head speed is 92.9, again near enough my normal. 3.6 angle attack down. We've got club half of 0.0 and face open by 0.9. Lies slightly out and loft is 25.3. So within reason, I'm de-lofting by about 4 degrees or so. If you look at my average strike, it's 5 mil toe and a 0 mil high, and I've got standard deviation. If you really, for the really picky people, I've got standard deviation information on there as well. So considering what I'm putting in, it's getting a decent efficiency out, 1.35. That does include some mishits in there as well. Obviously that will blur the data somewhat, but the whole idea is not just to give you a data set of exactly what happens when you absolutely pipe it out the middle. It's to give you an idea of an average understanding of what the golf club is capable of doing. So let's go to the ball speed, etc. of the slower swing. Now I tried to slow my swing down to sub 80 miles an hour because remember, game improvement irons, you're talking about people that have just basically started golf and need something that's going to be very, very forgiving as best they can do, or people that have played golf for a certain amount of time, but they've either lost speed through age, through injury or something like that, and they're going to be using the game improvement side of things for increased launch and help in that way, not necessarily through forgiveness. But I mean, yeah, the two come hand in hand. So ball speed 106.4, launching at 19.5, spinning at 4.3. It won't spin as much because it's speed related drop off of spin. It's going 26 yards in the air and descending at 43 degrees, basically a carry of 153. And you've got mishits in there as well. So I would say a normal one for this speed would be around about sort of like the 155 carry. Clubhead speed was 77.2, so much closer to the average senior. And then the golfer, which has literally just started and got no idea when it comes to how to deliver a golf club. That is a nominalised clubhead speed. It's not easy to swing that slow and still trying to get delivery right. Efficiencies at 1.38 though, angle attack 1.7 down, 2.2 from the inside, 0.1 closed, basically, well, a little push if anything. Loft is 25.4 and face impact is 2 mil toe, 1 mil low. And you've got standard deviation figures on there as well, so you can see that I'm moving around a little bit. We'll just have a look at the clubhead data from the ball compare and the club compare quickly so you can see the difference in flights. And look, if you look at the trajectories, you can distinctly see what happens when you put speed into it. This thing loves speed if you can muster, but considering the low speed that I was swinging at 77 miles an hour of the second data set, the G430 is doing exceptionally well getting the ball in the air. Remember, this is a 29-degree 7-iron, so at one point people are going to be transferring into hybrids and stuff like that. And I would say if you are a senior and you're getting to a point of where you're 77 miles an hour clubhead speed, that's descending at 43 degrees on the slower swing, so I'd be looking in possibly into the 6, going into a hybrid 6 or something of that nature. But yeah, so you can see there's your clubhead data as well on there on the clubhead compare. It's quite interesting how well the G430 did when it comes to its efficiency the slower you swing it. But remember, that data set, it's blurred a little bit because of the hitting that I've done with it. But I'll show you some of the interesting shots that I've managed to capture when it comes to the G430. And so I'll do the full speed ones first, and then I'll get into the slow speed ones for the seniors and for the beginners out there to show you just how forgiving this golf club is. So first one, 93.5 miles an hour clubhead speed, 0.6 mil inside, 0.8 open, so baby little fade normally, but 2 mil low, 10 mil toe, geared it a little bit, but it has dropped off about 4 yards or so. So at 185 for this is around about the average normalised carry for a very good hit and just delivered well, 185 carry. And it's dropped 4 yards effectively from a 12 mil gross miss, which is effectively half an inch off the middle, so hardly anything whatsoever, and it's kept its line at 2.8 yards off of target. Next one, 92.4 miles an hour, 0.6 mil inside, 1.3 open, so that's getting more into a bit more of a fade. 3 mil high, 16 mil toe, so 19 millimeters gross off of middle. Has it lost some distance? A little bit, but not half a golf club from a nearly 20 millimeters off the middle strike, and it's kept its line at 6 yards offline. That's a very impressive, yeah, there's been hardly any face twist on that, if any, and it's done exactly what I told it to with the slight open face delivery. Next one here, 93.6 miles an hour, club path 0.0, face open by 1.5, however, catch the strike on that, 17 mil toe, 13 mil low, 30 millimeters off of middle, and it's still done 170. Has it lost distance? Of course it has. 170 yards, of course it's lost distance, but with that strike, are you surprised? It is done exceptionally well. Has there been unwanted gear on it? Possibly a little bit. It's tilting slightly off to the right. It's missed 14.8 yards off to the right and lost a little bit of distance, yes, but that strike, I am amazed how well that has done. 13 mil low, 17 toe. That is a mighty, mighty impressive golf club. Next one, we'll go into the slow speed swings now for a little bit of fun. And we'll showcase now just how badly you can hit this thing. And it keeps its line. So 77.6 miles an hour, 2.5 from the inside and face 0.0. So effectively, I've basically told the golf ball to go to the right, it's a little push, and yeah, it's finished 6.9 yards offline. I've told it to do that, and it's gone 142, but I have hit it 4 mil high, 22 mil heel. That was so close. That was so close to a proper full-on shank. At that speed, 77.6, 78 miles an hour, I was witnessing the golf club on a decent shot going about 155 yards or so. So has it lost a club's distance? Yes. I'm not surprised with a 22 mil heel though, but it's kept its line. So has it dropped distance? Yes, but it hasn't dropped accuracy. There has been no face twist involved whatsoever. That is a mighty impressive thing. 78.7 miles an hour, 4 degrees from the inside, 0.6 closed. Again, that is a push. That is me telling the golf club or golf ball to go out to the right. It's missed 6 yards right and only carried 142 yards. So we've lost 13 yards or so off normal. But I have hit it 3 mil low, 28 mil toe. So 30 mil again, but the other way. 31 mil off the middle, 28 millimeters off the toe. That is not hitting scoring lines. That is impressive. That I have lost distance, yes we have. I'm not surprised with that strike, but it stayed straight, exactly where I'm telling it to go. Next one, 80.9 miles an hour. We are carrying a 150, 1.2 from the inside, 0.3 closed. It's gone 8 mil low, 10 mil hill. So this is a normal, nominalized miss, not extreme, but this is a common miss. It's gone 3.4 yards offline and 150 carry. It's lost 5 yards off a low heel strike, a normal low heel strike, not a ridiculous low heel strike, a normal low heel strike. So it's lost effectively less than half a golf club from a low heel hit. Now, generally golf clubs hate low heel hits. Last one for 78.6 miles an hour, and we've got 1.32 efficiency, so it's pretty good. 2.5 from the inside, 1.3 closed. It's gone 141. We have dropped distance. It's gone 2.4 yards offline, so it's kept its line. But I did hit it 13 low, 10 toe. I mean, that isn't very good whatsoever when it comes to the strike, but plenty of people misstrike it. And so, has it lost distance? Yes, it's lost about a club's distance or so. But has it stayed straight? Yes, it has at 2.4 yards offline. There's been no face twist involved whatsoever, regardless of where I'm hitting it on the face. Extreme toe, extreme heel, low on the face, it doesn't matter. This G430 is an amazing golf club when it comes to how stable the head is. There is very, very little in the way of any tilt axis applied or unwanted tilt axis applied to the golf ball from a misstrike alone. Is there going to be drop off in distance? Of course there will be. I mean, when you do normalised mishits, it's doing exceptionally well. When you do interesting mishits, extreme mishits, of course it will lose distance. Every golf club is going to lose distance, but it's just how impressive this G430 iron is on being able to hit target, regardless of what club delivery you do. You tell it to go a certain place and then you mishit it. Ping have always been very, very good at that when it comes to even in their woods, especially with their forgiveness nature of their woods. Your job as a golfer is to apply the golf club in a way that you tell the golf ball, especially can do, to go towards target. If you mishit it, leave that to Ping, effectively, and Ping continue to do it exceptionally well on the G430. Performance-wise, I cannot complain at all with the G430 iron. It is one of the best G irons ever when it comes to its ability to be able to go a long way, and it does beat the G425 when it comes to distance, that is for certain. 7 to 10 yards, again, that will depend on the golfer, particularly the slower you swing, the smaller the gain, the faster you swing, the bigger the gain. So yeah, my main complaint, and this is a personal preference, it's got nothing to do with the iron whatsoever, is the sound that it makes. It is a very loud golf club. Now in here, in my simulator room, I can hear everything. Now I've got acoustic padding and stuff like that, so I can distinctly notice differences in pitch and differences in acoustic volume. And this is quite a loud golf club. Now Pings have never shone away from being Ping-like, quite loud, and does it bother me? Not really. Would I prefer it to be quieter and a bit more muted? Of course it would, but that's my own personal preference. There's a lot of people out there that like a much more confidence-inspiring smack and crack that you get from, I mean, the i500 was a very, very loud golf club, performed exceptionally well. The new i525 is a slightly more muted version of the i500 and still works exactly the same when it comes to its performance. So again, it all comes down to personal preference, what you prefer from the sound of an iron or a golf club in general. I would just prefer it personally to be a little bit quieter. But the looks of the golf club is very, very good. Hasn't gone massive on its sole thickness or its blade length or its top lines or anything else like that. Offset is normal. It's not hugely offset. It's not onset or anything else like that. It's much more in line with the modern day G iron. In conclusion, I am absolutely amazed by this new G430. It will no doubt sell in its droves when it comes to ping. It does exceptionally good at getting the golf ball up in the air. It does exceptionally good at being forgiving when you don't quite catch it. It's just the sound for me, and that's a personal preference and has no bearing on what the club is good or bad at. It's just a complete personal preference. So, hope you liked the video. If you did, go on, give it a thumbs up. YouTube likes it, so do I. Whilst you're down there giving it a thumbs up, there's a little red button. If you could subscribe, that's good for me, it's good for the channel, it's good for everyone. And whilst you're down there also, there's a little bell icon. That is a notification bell. If you click that one, that'll let you know next time I upload another video. And I've got to do the G430 drivers and stuff like that. I think I'm going to release the iron first and then the woods and stuff after that. So yeah, comment below, like, subscribe, bell icon, all that lot, and we'll see you again soon.